When Christine McGuinness walked away from Celebs Go Dating, it wasn't just a dramatic exit from a reality show. It was the start of something much bigger, much louder, and far more personal than anyone expected. At first, the headlines painted it as a mental health break, an overwhelmed mother stepping back from the spotlight. But behind the scenes, something deeper was unfolding, a quiet rebellion that would soon explode into public view. Just days after leaving the show, Christine revealed she wasn't simply walking away from television or from dating men. She was stepping fully into her truth, finally admitting what she had always known but never publicly voiced. She described herself as a free spirit, someone who's always been open to dating women, and made it clear this wasn't some bold new experiment. It was her reality all along. What followed was a firestorm. Rumors swirled about a fling with a female soap star, whispers of a falling out with Chelcee Grimes, and then the kicker: Chelsea's new girlfriend, a woman the internet instantly branded Christine's clone. And through it all, Christine stayed calm, collected, and just a little cryptic. But make no mistake, this is not a rebrand. It's a total reinvention. This is Christine McGuinness rewriting her life, burning bridges, and finally telling the truth that nobody was ready to hear. Christine McGuinness signed up for Celebs Go Dating with what looked like fresh energy and optimism. A newly single mother, stepping back into the spotlight with a hopeful smile and the kind of vulnerability audiences connect with immediately. But something felt off almost from the beginning. Less than 2 weeks into filming, she suddenly disappeared from the show, with no dramatic exit, no confrontation, not even a goodbye scene. Fans were left stunned, confused, and wildly speculating. Was it panic? A meltdown? A behind-the-scenes scandal? Producers eventually confirmed the exit, calling it a brave decision, while insiders whispered that Christine had been emotionally overwhelmed. According to those close to her, the dating process brought up things she wasn't ready to face, especially not on national TV, and definitely not while still navigating life under the same roof as her ex-husband, Paddy McGuinness. The cameras may have been rolling, but Christine's real battle was happening off-screen. What made things even more intriguing was her sudden return for the season finale. She didn't return broken. She came back with clarity, a woman who had taken time to breathe, reflect, and step back into her power. And that's when things began to shift, not just in her public image, but in her personal truth. Her walk-off wasn't about drama. It was about transformation. And what followed next would make that crystal clear to anyone still watching. Not long after her quiet exit and unexpected return to Celebs Go Dating, Christine McGuinness dropped the kind of personal revelation that instantly flipped public perception. In a candid interview, she shared that she's always been attracted to both men and women, but had spent years keeping that part of herself buried. Not out of shame, but out of survival. "I'm a free spirit," she said, choosing not to label herself, but making it clear this wasn't a new discovery. It was a long-silenced truth finally being spoken aloud. What struck a nerve was how calmly she owned it. There was no drama in her delivery, no calculated PR spin, just honesty. And yet, the headlines lit up like fireworks. Some praised her bravery, others accused her of using her personal life for attention. But Christine didn't flinch. She stood in the storm unfazed, repeating that her sexuality had never been a secret to those closest to her. That included her ex-husband Paddy, who she said had always known and respected her journey. In fact, the two had even agreed not to speak about new relationships in front of their children, keeping the focus on parenting, not past pain. But even with mutual respect, there was still something bittersweet in her tone, like someone finally free, but also quietly grieving the years spent pretending. This was more than a headline. It was Christine reclaiming her story and finally choosing herself in a way the public had never seen before. As the buzz around Christine's sexuality began to settle, a new wave of speculation erupted, this time centered on the names connected to her journey. Whispers started with Chelcee Grimes, a rising singer and Christine's once close friend. They were spotted traveling together, spending long weekends away, and appearing inseparable in Instagram photos that felt far more intimate than friendly. For a moment, it looked like something was blossoming. Fans rooted for them. The media hinted at a soft, quiet romance, and then silence. Without a public statement, Chelcee suddenly disappeared from Christine's feed. The two unfollowed each other. No drama, no fighting online, just a cold, clean break that said more than words ever could. rumors swirled about jealousy, emotional tension, and a romance that may have ended before it fully began. Then came the second wave, a brief but intense fling between Christine and a well-known soap actress during an award show weekend. Sources described it as playful, fun, and short-lived, but it sent tabloids into a frenzy. One night, one kiss, and Christine's name was back in every headline. And if that wasn't enough, Chelcee was soon seen with someone new, a woman fans instantly called a Christine clone. Same hair, same style, same energy. The resemblance was uncanny, and the message felt intentional. It wasn't just about new love, it was about replacing someone publicly. Christine never clapped back. She didn't have to. The silence said everything. And the internet? It was eating it up. While the internet obsessed over Christine's personal life, one figure remained quietly tethered to her story, her ex-husband, Paddy McGuinness. Though their marriage officially ended, they never truly parted ways. The two still live under the same roof, co-parenting their 3 children, all of whom are neurodivergent. It's a decision that raised eyebrows. Why share a home post-divorce? But for Christine, it was never about convenience. It was about stability for the kids and unfinished emotional business that still lingered in the air. Publicly, both Christine and Paddy have been polite, professional even, but privately, the tension is impossible to ignore. Christine has made comments that sound innocent on the surface, but land like subtle digs when you read between the lines. She's mentioned feeling like she was playing a role for years, of being silenced in her own home, of losing touch with who she was while trying to be the woman Paddy wanted her to be. And while she never names him directly, the message is clear. She was never fully herself in that marriage. What's even more revealing is Christine's stance on marriage moving forward. She's done with it. Not interested, not curious. In her words, she doesn't want to legally bind herself to anyone ever again, not after what she's been through. It's not bitterness, it's protection. Meanwhile, Paddy has kept quiet, letting the headlines roll past without public reaction. But behind the scenes, friends say he's rattled, not just by Christine's transformation, but by how gracefully she's doing it without him. This isn't just co-parenting, it's coexisting with history and refusing to let it define her anymore. Christine McGuinness isn't just living differently, she's being seen differently, and that's where the controversy really begins. To some, she's empowering, finally free from the expectations that once kept her silent, but to others, she's moving too fast, saying too much, and riding too close to the edge of oversharing. As her every move becomes headline material, every post, every outfit, every quote, critics are asking, is this reinvention or is it a risk? Her appearance on Celebs Go Dating was meant to be a soft comeback, a step into the public eye on her terms. But the exit, the sexuality revelation, the love life headlines, all of it has blurred the line between authenticity and spectacle. For fans, it's refreshing to watch a woman take control of her narrative without apologizing. But for others, it feels calculated, maybe even strategic. Still, Christine keeps showing up, bold, vulnerable, and completely unapologetic. She isn't trying to control how the world sees her anymore. She's just trying to finally be seen as who she is. And in today's culture, where women are either adored or dissected, that's a dangerous kind of freedom. Her story isn't polished, it's messy, layered, and still unfolding in real time. But that might be what makes it resonate so deeply. Because Christine McGuinness isn't trying to be perfect anymore, she's just trying to be honest. And in an industry built on masks and manipulation, honesty is the most controversial thing of all. Christine McGuinness didn't just rewrite her story. She tore up the old one and started again, louder, bolder, and finally on her own terms. From silent struggle to unapologetic truth, she's become a symbol of what it means to evolve in public, even when the world isn't ready. Love her or criticize her, one thing is clear: she's not hiding anymore. And if that makes people uncomfortable, so be it. Because Christine's not here to fit in, she's here to be free. And sometimes, the most radical thing a woman can do is finally choose herself.